Welcome to episode 9 of the Card Notes by Vintage Hockey Cards Report podcast. Today we're taking a closer look at these 5 hockey cards: the Dale Hunter 1981-82 o-pee-chee number 277 card, the Danny Grant 1969-70 o-pee-chee number 125 card, the Dennis Hull 1966-67 Topps 113 card, the Earl Rival 1958-59 Topps 57 card, and the Ed Johnston 1964-65 Topps number 21 card. Let's get on with it. Enjoy. The Dale Hunter 1981-82 o-pee-chee number 277 hockey card. Written on the back of the card, the brother of Dave Hunter, left wing with the Oilers, Dale was among Nordique's leading scorers in 1980-81. Included among his stats were 2 power play goals, 2 game-winning goals, and 2 game-tying goals. Dale has good anticipation on the ice. Dale's last amateur club was the Sudbury Wolves of the OMJHL in 1979-80. A closer look. Older brother Dave Hunter played 746 regular season and 105 playoff games in the National Hockey League between 1979-80 and 1988-89 with the Edmonton Oilers, Pittsburgh Penguins, and Winnipeg Jets. Dave played junior with the Sudbury Wolves from 1975-76 to 1977-78, while brother Dale didn't start with the Wolves until 1978-79. Despite his great rookie numbers with the Quebec Nordiques in 1980-81, Dale Hunter was not included in the top 10 finalists for the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. That honor went to teammate Peter Stastny. Anton Stastny was also among the top 10. Dale played 3 seasons in the OMJHL from 1977-78 to 1979-80. His first year was with the Kitchener Rangers and his final 2 were with the Sudbury Wolves. In his first season with the Wolves, Dale put up 111 points. This was good for just 3rd on the high-scoring team behind league leader Mike Foligno and Dave McQueen. Hunter played 1,407 regular season and 186 playoff games in the NHL between 1980-81 and 1998-99 with the Nordiques, Washington Capitals, and Colorado Avalanche. The Danny Grant 1969-70 o-pee-chee number 125 hockey card. Written on the back of the card, Rookie of the Year in the NHL last season, Danny Grant became the first member of a West Division squad to win a league trophy. The smiling left winger was a top Montreal prospect originally. A closer look. A bit of an error. Glenn Hall won the Conn Smythe Trophy in 1967-68 as a member of the St. Louis Blues, a West Division team. It should be noted that Ted Hampson won the Bill Masterton Trophy in 1968-69, the award's inaugural season. Hampson played for the Oakland Seals, a team in the West. Masterton was a member of the Minnesota North Stars, a team from the West at the time of his passing. Danny Grant certainly was the Calder Trophy winner in 1968-69 as NHL Rookie of the Year. However, it was an extremely tight race. Grant received 119 votes, while Norm Ferguson of the Oakland Seals received 112. Other candidates included Brad Park, Jerry Desjardins, and Andre Lacroix. Grant's 34 goals as a rookie were pretty impressive. In fact, it would be the second best season total of his career. In 1974-75, Danny scored 50 goals with the Detroit Red Wings for a career high. He played 736 regular season and 43 playoff games in the National Hockey League between 1965-66 and 1978-79 with the Canadiens, North Stars, Red Wings, and Los Angeles Kings. The Dennis Hull 1966-67 Topps number 113 hockey card. Written on the back of the card, overshadowed by his famous brother Bobby, Dennis has been allowed to mature slowly by the Hawks, spending part of last season with St. Louis to gain more experience. This year, the Hawks figure on keeping Dennis as a regular and are betting on a fine performance. A closer look. The predictions on the back of this 1966-67 Topps hockey card were right. Dennis Hull indeed put in a fine performance. Playing all 70 games for the Chicago Blackhawks, Hull scored 25 goals and totaled 42 points. Even though the goal total was less than half of Bobby Hull's 52, Dennis tied for 3rd with Doug Mons on the high-scoring Blackhawks. Maybe not the sniper that his brother was, Dennis Hull still put in a decent NHL career. He topped the 30-goal plateau 4 times, with his best total coming in 1970-71 when he scored 40, just 4 less than his brother and the 5th highest total in the NHL. 1972-73 would be, by far, his best season in the National Hockey League. During the regular season, he contributed 90 points for the Blackhawks. In the playoffs, he exploded for 24 points in 16 games as Chicago reached the Stanley Cup final before losing to the Montreal Canadiens in 6 games. Dennis Hull played 959 regular season and 104 playoff games in the NHL between 1964-65 and 1977-78. Most of his career was spent with Chicago. His final year in the league was spent with the Detroit Red Wings, appearing in 55 games. The Earl Rival 1958-59 Topps number 57 hockey card. Written on the back of the card, Dutch used to center production line in Detroit. Was drafted by Bruins last summer from Chicago. A closer look. The production line that Earl Rival centered with the Detroit Red Wings was actually the second version of the line. The original had Sid Abel between Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay. When Abel retired, there was a period of time that Reibel and Norm Ullman split time as center between Howe and Lindsay before Alex Delvecchio took over the role. 1958-59 was Earl Rival's swan song season in the National Hockey League. It would be his only year with the Boston Bruins and his last year in the NHL. Earl would spend the following 2 years in the AHL with the Providence Reds before calling it a career. Rival's best season in the NHL came in 1954-55. His 66 points on 25 goals and 41 assists placed him fourth in the race for the Art Ross Trophy, behind just Bernie Geoffrion, Maurice Richard, and Jean Beliveau. He helped the Red Wings to a Stanley Cup championship that season, contributing 12 points in 11 playoff games. His hockey career was relatively short, going from junior to retirement in just over a decade, yet Earl earned himself some hardware. He won the Eddie Powers Trophy with the Windsor Spitfires in 1949-50 as the top scorer in the OHA Junior A. He totaled 129 points on 53 goals and 76 assists over 48 games. In 1951-52, Reibel won the Dudley Red Garrett Award as the AHL's Rookie of the Year. He put up 67 points in 66 games that year with the Indianapolis Capitals. The following year, he led the WHL with 90 points playing for the Edmonton Flyers. The Lady Byng Trophy came his way in 1955-56, sitting just 10 minutes in the penalty box with the Red Wings. Over his entire career, he never accumulated more than 18 penalty minutes in a single season. Earl Rival played 409 regular season and 39 playoff games in the National Hockey League between 1953-54 and 1958-59. He appeared with the Detroit Red Wings, Chicago Blackhawks, and Boston Bruins. The Ed Johnston 1964-65 Topps number 21 hockey card. Written on the back of the card. Drafted from the Montreal Canadiens in 1962, Ed has become a fixture in the Bruins nets. He was the only NHL goalie to play the full 70-game schedule last winter. A native of Montreal, Ed turned pro in 1956-57. He was a leading netminder in 3 leagues during his career in the minors. Johnston set an Eastern League record with 11 shutouts. A closer look. Indeed, before Ed Johnston became a regular National Hockey League goalie with the Boston Bruins in 1962-63, he had an outstanding minor league career. In 1959-60, he was an EHL first-team All-Star playing for the Johnstown Jets. Playing in 62 regular season games for the Jets, Johnston posted a 2.65 goals against average with 3 shutouts. He played all 13 playoff games for Johnstown, leading the team to a championship with a win over the New Haven Blades in the final. The following year, 1960-61, Ed moved to the Hull Ottawa Canadiens in the o-pee-chee. This is the year mentioned on the back of the card when he put up 11 shutouts. He was named the league's top goaltender and selected as a first-team All-Star. He played all 70 regular season and all 14 playoff games as the Canadiens were both regular season and playoff champions. 1961-62 would be the clincher season in the minors that would land Eddie a full-time job in the NHL. Playing all 70 regular season and all 16 playoff games for the Spokane Comets in the WHL, he was named a second-team All-Star sporting a 3.30 goals against average and 3 shutouts. However, there was no championship for Johnston that year. The Comets reached the final but fell to the Edmonton Flyers in a series that went the full 7 games. As per Eddie's NHL career, he played 592 regular season games in the National Hockey League between 1962-63 and 1977-78 with the Boston Bruins, Toronto Maple Leafs, St. Louis Blues, and Chicago Blackhawks. Surprisingly, Johnston played just 18 Stanley Cup playoff games over his lengthy career. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Card Notes. Stay tuned, there'll be more coming up soon. If you could, please hit the like button, and we'd really appreciate if you'd subscribe to the channel.